Little market overview on Tuesday, the 18th of March today. It's been about 2 weeks, more or less, since the last one. I kind of outlined perfectly in that video, like my outlook and the likelihood of this happening. So generally, the market conditions are not really surprising. I am rather surprised, though, by the immense lack of volume that has come as a secondary effect, so to speak, of the current market conditions. And by volume, I mean volume in the Solana trenches. I think volume generally is relatively low right now, and I think like all of that surprises me to some degree. But of course, like when you look at equities and you see them dumping this hard, the lack of market interest that we're seeing is relatively like acceptable and not surprising by almost any means. But let's go over the market overview real quick. We're just going to delete that. So I think I outlined almost perfectly this. I kind of outlined this down move. I was thinking down to 78 was like a good level. We have since kind of broken that level, held near it, so of course not a perfect science, but generally what I want to see has not changed at all, right? Essentially, you just want to see this scoop up, kind of creating a cup and handle if you want to see it that way. But for me, it's more a reclaim of the range that I'm actually looking for, right? Like, get the fuck off my screen. It's kind of this recovery into this level, a reclaim before we kind of see further upside, right? The area we're looking to reclaim is about 90, right? So I think this plan hasn't changed at all. Could I potentially see lower? I wouldn't be surprised. It's not ruled out. I would much rather just see this kind of chop up. The sentiment right now is so immensely low, with, again, like I pointed out, the volume being essentially gone. I think a relative pump is overdue to some degree, and I don't mean by that like, oh, it should have already happened. I just mean like it's about time. That's just my gut feeling about the market, seeing these market conditions. I don't think it's going to be a pump of like, oh, we're so back. So, right, there's a difference between like an overdue pump or decent market conditions versus God candle up into any levels, right? I don't think we're just going to God candle here straight up back to this. I kind of would prefer if we just, have a little, nice week where we go from 82 to like 80 or to like 88, 90, and then reject and continue to chop up in here. Not until September, but right. I would like to see a nice little week coming up to here, doing one last slow revisit of these wicks, and then chopping, reclaiming. Something like this I think is beautiful. I think a lot of bottoms actually form this way, and I've said on so many videos I would go over like what my view on market bottoms is and some of the best like market bottom patterns that I see. I've never damn made that video. I ain't even finna cap. But that's the overall overview. I think it hasn't gotten much different than what I anticipated would happen back here or whatever it was, right? It's played out perfectly. I'm sticking with that plan. I still think this is the optimal situation for bulls, and giving us some time to rest. So the TLDR is gonna be I don't know if to say like pessimistically bullish or optimistically bearish, but generally I am cautiously bullish. I think that's a perfect one. Cautiously bullish. Yeah, that's kind of the TLDR. Like, I do want to see a pump, but I'm not like, holding my breath right now. So that's generally it. I think ETH, like, we can cover this shit, but like literally like cover this shit because it's fucking ass. Like, there's nothing to say about this chart except it looks terrible. We're probably going to continue to play with 2500, essentially just be a stable coin with a 50% up, 50% down range. Like, it's fucking dog shit. Sol, I think the reason I think a pump on Sol would be nice, and then the dump kind of, you know, similar to here where we kind of drew out this pump. Well, it's not that long, but you know what I'm saying, this pump, and then, you know, dump back into this range and a revisit of these wicks. This would essentially ensue on Sol to be a bigger move, which would be, you know, you come up to, you know, 150, 170, whatever, come down. Probably everything's super bearish here. We liquidate kind of all the longs and all the liquidity, we take it out below here before we recover and reestablish this range, right? That's the thesis on Sol. Kind of getting everyone giga bearish, revisiting 100, maybe 90, you know, somewhere in this range before we recover, and then come back into this range. That's TLDR on the most important assets, because covering all this other bullshit is not worth my time. But if you want to trade shit, trade Sol, trade BTC, probably keep your hands on BTC. In terms of like what you're actually trading, I think that's the easiest asset to trade. Kind of moves like equities at this point. And then fucking keep your hands away from all this other bullshit, right? Because, like, you know, not shitting on Jupiter, but, you know, this is just untradeable. You can try to catch the bottom and be like, holy fuck, it's gonna go all-time highs, but it's just a rough one, right? Maybe keep an eye on something like Doge for the next leg up, but a lot of shit is undervalued compared to what it was, you know? So the question is it currently undervalued, or was it at the time overvalued? It's kind of the question you want to ask in terms of all coins and meme coins alike. That's it, really. I got nothing more to say. Beautiful tech.